Hello and welcome to Geekatplay Studio Tutorials. In this tutorial we'll look how to work with Photoshop and Camera Raw, and we will work on the portrait, Photoshop self-portrait, and what I want to do is create this vintage kind of look. So we'll see how we can do this inside the Photoshop. We will begin by opening our image in Camera Raw, but before we open, let's look on statistic, and you can see right here we was shot with focal length 150 millimeters at 2.8, so for shallow kind of depth of focus. Okay, and let's give you some information on the image itself. And of course I was photoshopped with ISO 100 to reduce amount of the noise. We'll go just double tap click to open in Camera Raw. One thing problem is when you photo shoot, your sharpness maybe is not there when you do by yourself. It focuses on different areas. So I want to bring more sharpness, mostly in the eye area, and add a little bit more contrast, a little bit more highlights in the areas. So first what I do in Camera Raw, I enable the lens profile correction. So right here you can see we have it slightly distortions and fixed, as well as vignetting on the side. And it's personal preferences. You can do this or you can not to enable corrections. Again, based on metadata, the Camera Raw select properly profiles for the lenses it's used, and it's a Canon, you can see right here, 2.8L Mark II lenses, so everything is set right. Okay, next what I'm going, it's adjust the temperature color, and this is have a little bit bluish feel to this. I want actually to create a little bit more warmer. Most time when the photo shoot in that time, and we're using either chrome or bromochrome papers, which just give it semi greenish brownish color effect. So that's what I want going after. Next I'm going to pop up a little bit on the highlights, and we can see right here we have it nicer added highlights. We'll remove some of those details in this area, so it's create a unique look. And let's take shadows darker. Okay, next we'll go to the curves, and normally I don't want to do that much change to the image, just slightly adjustment, because we'll go inside the Photoshop and modify more here there, but with the Camera Raw let us adjust some of the settings. And I want to add contrast. To do this I will just take shadows a bit down and highlights a little bit up, so we create this kind of curving, very slight curving, so it's give it us a little bit extra contrast. We'll go inside the sharpenings, and before that let me pop up also kind of higher. And before we go to sharpness, I'm going to image right here, and you can see focus this a little bit better, a little bit less on the eye, so we'll pop up our eyes sharpness a little bit better later. Right here we'll go into the sharpen details, and problem is if we pop up all the way, you can see we start having these artifacts popping. So we'll go to about 135, bring details just a bit down, and masking, so we'll have a nice cleaner look. Okay, let's go back to 100. Okay, again we have a nice sharpness right here on the edge. Okay, so we set this one, our luminosity is fine, and now we can just hold down shift the button and click on open as object. So we'll open this as an object inside the Photoshop. The next things work as an object. We can go at any time, clicking, go to Camera Raw and modify it. Next what I want to do, it is adjust, fix some small problems, like example, okay, let's go right here. If we look, maybe just remove some of this effect, some hair, maybe right here just remove some hair as well. From backdrop right here we can see the lines, so I want to fix this one. We'll go create a new layer, going to select the patch tool, and one thing, be sure the patch set to the content where. Okay, in this case we'll go to just select the area and slightly move it. Let's take a second. And Photoshop does a very good job with the readjusting with content area, so you can see we remove it. If you still have some small effect right here, we can shall move it to other area and remove this line. Same, let's do right here. We'll readjust, moving slightly, and right here. So we remove those lines. The next what I want to do is work on the patches, just removing. For this one, we'll go to use it healing tool. Okay, as well we need to enable the content aware. Okay. Okay, next I want to set this, let's set to the darken lighting. We'll just keep it on a normal, but I want to set all layers if we want all, but current and below is what we're interested. So right here. Okay, so next we'll just go select, and again just click Alt to define, to repair, and right here a little bit. I'm clicking Alt key to select areas. Kind of to repair. Right here a little bit. We'll go up, and to fix this one, let's reduce brush size. Can go up right here. Again, I'm sampling by pressing Alt key. So again, you press, you have a target. This will help a little bit create closer. Also, till we here, let's just slightly fix this area. And we don't need to fix all of this effect, but small, we'll leave it like this right here. And let's actually look about right. And what I said before, it's nice things about the guy face. You don't need to go on all these details. Some I want to leave it. So right here, and we have it, our changes. Okay, we'll go next, apply the little bit more dimension to our image. I'm going to create a new layer, edit, fill it, and we'll go fill this with a 50% gray. We'll go set to the soft light. Okay, let's zoom in. Oops. Actually, what I want to do it is, okay, zoom right here, and this point we'll go start kind of working painting effect. The black will create darker layers, and white will create a lighter. The mode will set to the normal, opacity very low, about 9. If you're using the bicom pad, it's much easier to boot it with pressure, and flow about 51. Again, you can modify those settings, increase or decrease, but right here you can see with the small smooth I'm creating just slightly effect. Okay, again right here we can kind of already preview. All what I'm doing right now is try to add this extra dimension because it's a guy face, it's a little bit easier. I want to add stronger as well right here, maybe make it darker on mustache. Okay, a little bit on the lips, pop up, bring a little bit more details around here. Okay. Increase size. Bring a little bit more in the cheekbone looking effect. Okay. Decreasing. Okay, it's just a little bit more exaggerated those effects right here. Also we can pop up a little bit higher with whisker, so it's look darker. Okay, bring a little bit more right here around lips, and darken more on mustaches. Okay, so if we zoom out, you can see right here we get add a little bit more dimension with darker. Okay, next I want to add highlights, so we'll just increase and just same thing, just go over. A little bit more to highlights, and you know what? Let's a little bit add more whites to the eyes. Okay, we'll go to increase a little bit more size. Here the chin. Right here we have our face. You can see we add a little bit more dimension, and normally it will take quite a bit longer time to be add more and more details when you start going with this. So for the speed of this tutorial, I won't go all the way to add effect, but you can see how you can just start polishing and add a little bit more dimensions. But point of this is add this kind of almost drawing effect to this point. Okay, after we add dimensions, I want to add a little bit more global effect to this. We'll go to create actually curves, and I'm going to highlight the curves all the way. Okay, we'll take our mask, Control I to inverse, and next same opacity. Will go start drawing big highlights, and mostly it will help me right here add to some effects. Head. Okay, and if you have some hair somewhere, it's also helpful to add a little bit more highlights to the hair. So right here just slightly highlights, and we can go preview. You can see we add a little bit more dimension to our head, everything. Next what I want to do is create a little bit more sharpness, and I don't actually worry too much about over sharpening because I want to create this older type effect. We have a different type of sharpness we can apply. Some of them it is bring more internal details, and it's what I'm going to do. And next, sharp outline and other ones. For the first, we'll go press Shift Control Alt E on the PC. We'll create one layer. Just merge all. We'll create two of those layers. Select them both. Press Control G to group it. We'll set this group to the overlay, and we'll take top layer inside the group and set this to vivid light. Press Control I to inverse. Okay, so this is again vivid light. Okay, the one thing with this, it's you don't see any changes at this moment right here, but if we're going to apply surface blur, you can see how details already pop up, and we can control amount of those details, and this is more details we'll apply internally. So right here you can see it's bring those pores, this not necessarily will work for maybe female, this grinchy look, but for the guy it's work well, at least in this case. And then let's set about 6 pixels, and you know what, let me set the far away, and we can see the threshold. We can, I think probably about 10 will be right for this one. Okay, also I don't want to apply any mask for this, but I maybe want to create additional mask just for the eyes and apply in this case. Okay, so here's one group. Again, Control Shift Alt E to create new layer, and that one I'm going to set to overlay, and we're going to filter other and set high pass. What this high pass does to us, it will create this kind of outline effect for this, except this is too high, so we want to set 0.9 about pixels. This will give it more outline sharpness. Okay, and we can kind of looking, okay, preview right here, so we can, let's click OK. Yep, before and after you can see. So at this point we start over sharpening, so in a problem maybe right here you can see effects are appearing, so I want to start fixing at this moment, and for this we'll go create new mask. Okay. Control I to inverse, remove the effect, and I'm going to use a brush and start kind of sharpening in areas that I wanted. So again, that's very small opacity, very slow, and you can see right here that how we apply the mask, it's not very strong. So I'm just applying to eyes, hair, maybe a bit on the lips, just slightly right here on the whiskers, and obviously on the head to add details around here. Just very fast on the face. Again, so we can preview. Okay, now let's select it. Then also, if you select your main mask and you'll do this way with the gray, you kind of can light up a little bit. So okay, so we add it. Let's click one more time, preview. So right here we have it kind of going okay, and again I'm just adding to a little bit more effect here. So when the sharpness is kind of done, we can look and say, okay, this is look okay. I don't like sharp right here on the end, so what we're going to do, it is Control Shift E to create a new layer. Be sure you save your work, always just, it's a fast way to save it, and you can go back. And I'm going to actually go to the blur, and we'll go to image blur for this. What I want to do is set focus on an eye, okay, and just reposition right here, so we have it kind of blur out short right here. So we still have this face blurring, but nice blur going outside to the edges. And just readjust right here. Okay, we can set maybe to 13. So we have a nice smooth and removed some attention from this area below. Okay, so when we're done with this, let's click OK. So this blur is done, and it's look okay. We can start working on the, some adjustments. One thing what I want to do for this, it is add color correction. So we'll go to color balance, and I'll start from the shadows. We add just pinch of the blue, and we're gonna go to cyan. Let's go to the midtones, add a little bit effect, highlights, and highlights a little bit maybe to the warmer areas. So we have it from dark to warmer area kind of applied. Next, again, I want to go create new layer. And this one actually right now I want to use it for Photoshop, the Filter Forge. So I'm going to File, Filter Forge 3. Filter Forge, you can download it, free applications, work very well. It's allowed you to create a little bit more complex, kind of like actions in Photoshop, but have it much faster. And I have it free filters I created, so they're free. You can go download them. And if you search for Geekatplay, and mostly what I will going to simulate some photo papers. It's like iodine, that's what it says, bromide or some other photo papers, and you can select kind of applying. For this one, will use a simple normal brown paper photo effect. We'll overlay, and after we'll start kind of merging together. So I'll select the image with this. Let's click apply. This filter is a little bit more complex, so it will take a little bit time to apply it, but again, Filter Forge, you can for free download it and go to filterforge.com, and those all filters, all presets, they're free, and I think it's like 6,000 or more of them. But if you search for Geekatplay for my filters, you can find for photo effects and other ones which I'm constantly using. They save a lot of time. Of course, all of these we can create directly inside of Photoshop, but it's much faster and easy if you're using Filter Forge for that. Okay, so right here, finish render, you can see we have a nice effect with small. We'll need to add some vignetting to this. Next, I want to bring some colors. We'll go create mask. Let's set our brush right here, black, and I'm going to increase size of the brush, and right here just start slightly painting, and you can see start bringing the colors. Mostly I want to add this kind of red color. It's the stars, so I'm painting over, maybe bring small colors to the face as well. Mostly I want to concentrate, kind of add this red color. Okay, a little bit more on the face. Bring. Again, be sure that it's very soft, very small opacity, so it will help you to have this not very critical stroke, just nice, smooth. Maybe a little bit more color right here, so it doesn't look zombie always. Okay, add more right here. So right here we have a nice kind of effect. Okay, let me pop up to a large size and just overall bring around. Okay, so we kind of applied a little bit right this area, kind of grayish, so I'm going to switch to the white and try fix right here a little bit edge, so it doesn't look some effect right here. We still have some small problems right this area. We can fix this, remove, or you want left here. It just depends what you're going after. Okay, so let me make this a little bit more kind of gray. Okay, we can preview our masking. Okay, so we set effect, add this kind of coloring, aesthetic. So let's go to add additional curves, and now I want to create a kind of nice vignetting around, and found this effect from somebody was sharing online, and I do like how this create the easiest way. So we'll just set curves almost all the way down, and right here actually I'm going to create frame maybe about right here this size. Okay, we'll have it black color, set inside, and now what we need to do is just use featherings to increase and have it nice vignetting. We can modify the beauty of this. We can go modify shape anytime with feathers and other stuff. We can easy manipulate, so it's not just a two images additional layer. So right here, there you go, we created a nice image. Of course you can merge them to the top, and now you have one image look like some vintage effect with some coloring going around specific. And again, we done this from look from previous, and this is a little bit more greenish, maybe applied to color that I did in my first version. So, and actually, you know what, let's do this. To do again, I apply it one, we'll go to filter forge, okay, and I will use it for this one. I will use the photo tones. Okay, bluish right here. We'll select the kind of greenish effect. Okay, it's almost done. And again, this is free. Just search for Geekatplay and you can. Okay, we apply it to this layer, and I'm just going to slightly. There you go. So we can go a little bit more even greenish or warmer brown in color. Probably around right here. So we have this now, even better effect applied to this. Okay, thank you for watching this tutorial from Geekatplay Studio, and please remember this on the web is www.geekatplay.com.